Alright, so what's up everyone? And we about to get into this good old read. Now before we do, I kind of got some messages to call in the ancestors. So we're going to take a minute. So in a few more days, maybe a couple of weeks, I'm going to be getting into sexuality wellness. So the thing is that I don't really know if I'm going to be doing that behind the scenes or if I'm going to be whatever. I just know that soon it's going to happen. So hold on. So I'm kind of nervous as to why the ancestors, like, I'm nervous. I'm real nervous because I'm kind of shaking up on the inside because the ancestors. They're upset. So before, let me just get into this reading because I was about to do these cards, but it's just, they're upset. They're screaming. What are the messages for whomever may concern? What are the messages? What are the messages for whomever may concern? What are the messages? Get back. I got this. I got it. Thank you. Okay, so we have the Lovers that fill out here. So this is going to represent somebody who's very knowledgeable about relationships. This person is eclectic within their studies. Okay, it usually comes out as the choice. I don't feel like there's a choice here. If there is a choice, this person chose themselves. Okay, but it's really giving me some type of counsel. I hear the word no. Okay. There's an angel. There's an angel here. This angel is standing out to me the most. Well, we'll get back to that because there's something going. No, what are they saying no for? It almost kind of feels like a boundary, you know, like, or maybe it's no, I don't want to do something. Okay, we'll see. So you have a projection. Okay, so somebody is watching your social media and they're projecting. Okay, you have the High Priestess in reverse. You have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Then on top of that, you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. In the position of your crown, you have the Fool. Okay. So this person is trying to project that it's like they're trying to talk to somebody. Okay, so this person who's trying to project onto you, they're talking to this outside person who's representing the Lovers. This person is telling the Lovers that y'all don't want the same things. This person is watching your social media. And it's like this person is trying to manipulate situations and kind of compare certain things. You know, it's like every little thing that you say or that you have going on, this person tries to like overdo it, like analyze it. It's like they're trying to make it seem like you be doing the most when in all actuality they're doing the most. This person does not have the brain capacity to be able to keep up with you. But the High Priestess here, they do a lot of manipulating. They're not intuitive. You know, like, this is the type of person to where it's best to be quiet around them. It's best for them not to know what you have going on because they're always up to something. They're always trying to create illusions for stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really giving like manipulation. Okay, this person is very animalistic. It's not as if with them being in reverse, they're not in harmony with divinity and their animalistic self. They're just straight animalistic. When I walk my dog is always trying to stay ahead, but he doesn't know the direction that I'm going in. He's not in control. He wants to think that he is in control, so he stays ahead. So the thing is that when I make a turn, he ain't got no choice but to make that fucking turn. Okay? So with him being in front, he always wants to believe that he's in control, that he's leading the situation, that he's leading the way. So when I make that turn and then he get that pull, that nudge, because he know he's not going nowhere, he's not stronger than me, then it's kind of like he has to go my way. So what he does is that he tries to run in front of me in the direction in which that we're going. Okay, so when you think of the dog, you think of like, oh, he's trying to stay ahead because he's trying to protect you. I have a very good relationship with my dog. Animals have personalities of their own. So when you study an individual's personality, and this is the difference between instinct and intuition, okay? Because the thing is that an animal is not as sharp. The instinct is not as sharp as the intuition. So my dog, sometimes we're going through these battles, this push and pull for authority and control. Okay, he's not neutered, right? And then he's a male dog, so he's going to represent the male animalistic self. Very dominant. This is the alpha. Okay, sometimes when he sees other dogs, he pants down in the grass like he's about to pounce, like he's a lion. So he thinks that he's more than what he is. This person thinks that they are more than what they are, which is why they go through so much with trying to manipulate things. But it's kind of like they look more and more stupider with the things in which that they're doing. And somebody on the outside is starting to see that. Okay? This person is inconsistent. And this person is kind of like they have a history of trying to like mess up people's reputations. So it's, you know, a woman, let's say that there's a woman and she's always coming off like a victim or the damsel in distress. I've been in all of these relationships and all of these men have beat me up and all this and that. For one, she's lying. Okay? She's what you call a dark empath. So she's always trying to get individuals to feel sorry for her. Because once they feel sorry for her, it's kind of like she pulls them in emotionally and then she begins to trap them in the illusion. So this is what you call like a black widow. This is the spirit of a black widow. Okay, so this is a person, I feel like this is a woman, she's all about men. Okay, but it's kind of like she's what you call a man eater. All right, so I mean, this is the nature of who this woman is, like spiritually. Okay, so it's like she's not even an animal, she's like an insect. Okay, which means it's extraterrestrial, but she's one of those extraterrestrials to where there are many different civilizations of extraterrestrials. You have beings, and all of them do not like humanity. Absolutely not. So this woman is like she's like one of the mutated extraterrestrials. Okay, like they absolutely just, I can't get too much into it because individuals are not going to understand. People don't study extraterrestrials. People don't know. And then people don't know like I know. So I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. People know about reptilians, but this bitch is not a reptilian. She's a black widow. She's an insect. Okay, reptilians are represented by extraterrestrial life form too. But and insects are also represented by extraterrestrial intelligence as well as marine life. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. This is like this bitch wicked. Okay, she's just wicked. Okay, and she like men. She's a man eater. So I mean, it is what it is. Okay, like she operates from instinct. I don't know. Like I don't know what's wrong with her. Like she don't want to trust the process of her life because she's not a faithful woman. She's probably over controlling. I could tell she overthinks. So, I mean, she probably deals with a lot of anxiety. I pick up that she's a liar too. So she probably, her consciousness is probably weighed down by always worried about her lies being exposed. Mentally, this person is fucked. And it's kind of like spiritually, it's like they run off of their spirit. But their spirit is somebody who is man focused. And then it's like she's a man eater. Okay, so she really doesn't connect well to other people. She really doesn't have any friends. She may come off like she has a lot of friends, and through periods and times of her life, you see her in big crowds. You see her with these friends, with those friends. But it's like she really don't have friends. She don't know how to connect. She's usually always using people. Okay, and she's always usually using people to get next to a man. to impress a man. She uses people. She uses people and everything that she can to get her man. Okay, so this is a bitch who know how to get her man by any means necessary. Okay, and she play a dirty ass game and she don't give a fuck. I respect anybody who accepts who they are. Bitch, if you got it like that, then you got it like that. But the thing is that she always ends up heartbroken. She always ends up alone. She, you know, it becomes a very bitter taste in her mouth. Then on top of that, she's very fearful. Okay, she's fearful of her life without a man, her life without a partnership. You know, like, it's, that's just what it is. She's a black widow. Okay. She's poisonous. She's poisonous to herself too. Okay. She can't keep friends because she be using her friends to show off in front of her men. If she want to try to prove that she's a tough girl, she'll try to sit there and put on this tough act with her friends, and her friends be sitting there looking at her like, what's going on with you? She don't care about nothing else except for her man. Okay. So you have the Ace of Wands. She has the Three of Pentacles in reverse, not genuine. You have the Two of Pentacles, the individual. She has the Hangman in reverse, and she has the Five of Wands in reverse. So either she's moving backwards or she has been backed into a corner to where she can't play the victim. I told you she'd be playing the victim. Somebody is trying to hold her accountable for her behavior and shit that she's been doing or saying. She cannot gaslight this person. She has in the past. I believe this person has found out. So, I mean, but you let her get into your head. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I feel like this person, even though they may have gotten into her head, she good at what she do. She was born this way. So, she may have issues with her father. Okay, but she was born this way. I believe she has issues with her mother too. I don't really think that she even considered her mother to be really a factor within her life. It's kind of like her mother was just this annoying person that was just in the picture. You know, she may have felt neglected or misunderstood. If she must have had like a tough, firm dad, and she wasn't willing to receive his authority, so she rebelled. You know what I'm saying? So she has like this love-hate relationship with men, but most man-eaters do. Yes, I used to be a man-eater myself. Oh, baby, them demons go. Hey, not ready for the dark side, honey. Not ready for the truth. Not ready for the truth of how deep and dark it gets inside of me, honey. You know, my thing is, I always been slick about my shit. I've been quiet about my. I was an undercover hoe. Okay. So, and you know, bitches be trying to figure out like how I be seeing through them, because it's like, girl, you making the same moves, you trying to pull the same stunts. It's the same. It's all the same. Human behavior is the same. Because I used to tell myself out, but the thing is, it's only if that person is on a timeline that you were once on, which means that you and this person have somewhat of a connection because y'all are connected through the same consciousness. It's just that, you know, I may be more evolved than this other person, but I was where you were, and you're doing the same shit that I used to do. You're thinking the same way I used to think. Behavior is the same. I'm gonna tell you, I was real into the world. I'm trying to tell you, I was that bitch, baby. I used to work. I had cars. I stayed with 2 jobs. I mean, I was out here getting it. And, you know, with me making my money and doing my thing, you know, I had relationships, but I was also doing me. You know, I was a good woman, though. But I had a side to myself that I just could not get rid of. I was trying to suppress myself. I was trying to suppress it. And every time I tried to suppress it and tell myself I'm going to be a good, faithful woman, that shit just went out the window. I used to belong to a Pan-African community. I got an incarnation reading, you know, and the priest, he told me, he was just like, you know, you'll find your purpose. You'll get into your purpose when you heal the spoiled within you. Whenever it comes to divination, over the years and me getting into my purpose and just trying to figure shit out, sex has always been the biggest challenge. Temptation, lust has always been the biggest challenge. I'm trying to tell you, I got that beast tamed, bitch. I can teach you something. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for real. That's why I pulled out my big pussy energy cards, because I'm just like, I could feel it. I could feel it. I could feel it. You know, and then with me getting more into my yoni steam, and I don't wear bras, so I wear pasties, and I wear the cute, you know, like the little cute pasties. I love my pasties. They make me feel sexy. Like behind closed doors, that's what I got. That's what I'm into. That's what I'm getting into. You know, people wonder why they feel certain things from me, because I'm always pleasuring myself. I'm always feeding my, and when I say pleasuring myself, that's food, that's catering to me, doing my feet, doing my nails, doing my hair, waxing. I'm so into me. I have to be. Otherwise, that beast is going to be feeding on other people. You got to know who you are. You got to master that shit. Baby, you got to whip it in shape. I done had a lot of practice. I done learned a lot of lessons. I'm so grateful that I didn't have to learn like through terrible situations. You know, God knew how to sit me down. I had to practice celibacy. Once I did that it was over. I discovered how to use my sexual energy in a way to where I start creating like a motherfucker. My mental health started to increase like a motherfucker. I was like, oh shit. So I love the orgasm, yes. But after all these years of practicing of how to play around with this sexual energy, it's like, oh man, I can create my own whole world, my own whole universe. I can just create myself. And I can, that's why when people, you know, connect with me, when they get caught in, it's kind of like, they begin to have like supernatural experiences. You know, they begin to kind of put shit together. They also begin to understand more about me. So, you know, to some people, I mean, I come off weird and all that type of stuff, and they don't understand, they don't get it. Well, I'm not for you. You're not incredible. So you're not gonna know my incredibleness. I work damn hard on myself, and I'm so very proud of it. You know, men used to be my downfall. Not no more, baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? I am self-empowered. I empower. I can empower women, and I used to work, you know, but I used to work with a lot of women, but everybody wants to be the head. How are you going to come to me and you're looking for my assistance, but you're trying to compete with me and you're trying to mimic me instead of actually putting in the work? I'm not no fake. I'm not no phony. This is who the fuck I am. On camera, off camera. It's a little more enticing in person. So, you know, it is what it is. Whatever. So you have the Ace of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles, and you have the Star. Okay, so you have hit your ascension. You are a healer. Whatever it is in which that you do, it is uniquely for you. You are shining. You shine out here. Okay, the Ace of Wands is going to represent passion, inspiration, excitement. It could represent some type of travel, but I'm not really necessarily seeing travel here. But you are definitely balancing out things within your life too. I feel like just having more harmony, but it's kind of like a balancing act. It's not still. So I do kind of feel like a message for you is to, instead of moving it around, be still. Okay, because you may have ascended and you don't know that you have ascended. Okay, so your body is going to start speaking and talking to you. But this is beautiful. This is openness. Your vulnerability is, you shine. You know, you bring faith, you bring hope. It's giving me, I want to say illumination, but I feel like the Ace of Wands is going to kind of represent something like that. Your mind is faithful. Okay, faithful, hopeful, free, just kind of open. You know, I feel like you are entering into a new phase within your life. New levels, new devils. Okay, so, you know, you're stepping into a space to where I just kind of feel like you are a woman, but you could be a man. But this woman is feeling a little threatened because she feels she's very territorial. Okay, so it's kind of like she feels as if you are invading her territory. So you and this outside person have a connection. She's trying to talk shit about you to this outside person. So that's what I'm saying. She's feeling threatened. She's feeling territorial. So she's going into survival mode. She's going off of her instinct. She's acting like that that animal, trying to protect, you know, her home or whatever. So my thing is, these two individuals, if they're together dealing with each other, they're already having issues within the home. And it looks like she's the problem, because it looks like she's always trying to dominate situations. She's very over controlling. She's controlling in an unhealthy way. Then on top of that, she's very insecure. Because my thing is that I don't think that you're trying to step into her territory. There's no connection here with you and her except for that outside person. So this girl she's nowhere on your level. So I mean, I don't know. But my thing is that she's not a problem. She's not posing a problem. You know, she's just doing what she thinks she's supposed to be doing to protect what is hers. Okay, so we about to get into this big pussy energy. I'm not trying to tell all my goddamn business about how I be loving on myself behind the scenes, because I just don't feel like that's anybody else's business. But it don't really matter, because the freak relationship I got with myself is with me. Instead of me going out here and be freaking on everybody and other people, you know, my son's father, he be needing to tap out, you know. He said, you gonna have to get somebody else. It seemed like the shit be increasing as I get older. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I value my sexual energy. I value my feminine energy. I love being a woman. You know, I know that I'm very masculine. My birth certificate said male when I came out. So I know that in a past life I was a man. And I mean, I grew up a tomboy majority of my life. So, you know, I'm rough around the edges. I feel like I'm masculine and feminine. Okay, what's that? So this big pussy card is gonna this is gonna be for the lovers here. Okay, so we have anal pussy. Oh, that's why this person on the outside said no. So she may have asked to stick her finger in your butt. And that's what you may have said no to. Well, okay, if you don't want to do that, you see, sex is very sensitive. When motherfuckers say no, they say fucking no. You know, I had a friend. It's not funny, but some bitches be thinking that shit cute, trying to put men in certain positions until he end up punching your ass or kicking the fuck out of you. That nigga almost broke her jaw. I ain't even want to talk about the story. He almost broke her jaw. Now, my thing is, I've had a lot of girlfriends, you know, that talk about anal sex and the orgasm that they get, and it's a whole different feeling. This and that. You know, and I have a lot of gay friends, because I used to ask them, I'd be like, how you take it? Like, is there an easier way to take it? I mean, I've practiced around with it, but I just don't like it. I just don't like it. I mean, sometimes I put my finger up there. Sometimes, you know, I may have a toy, but I don't know. I just don't want a man back there. I don't know. I asked my friend, I said, ain't you afraid you gonna shit on his dick or something? So I had one guy, one of my friends, he said that he be doing an enema. He knows the certain times of the day, you know, like his partner is at work, so he know that they're not going to be doing anything. He know when his partner get home, so he take his enema, so when his partner get home, they can do it at any time. You know, we have had very kind of like disgusting conversations about what they call mud butt, to where when you are having anal sex and there's defamation. But my thing is like, come on though, you know that's where the poop come out at. So you have to be mentally prepared that some shit like that could happen. You know, I mean, if you don't care, then you don't care. But you know, everybody is not for it. You know. I don't know. I haven't had like there was an older gentleman too that I let do that, but he was just too rough. I was just like, don't we need some type of lubricant? Because you're not going to stick it in my butt and then put it in my vagina with your nasty ass. You're not going to do that. That shit is fucking disgusting. Ugh. Put that bacteria in her vagina. Men are not, you do not touch a woman's vagina with dirty nails neither. You need to respect her vagina. The vagina is very sensitive and she could get a yeast infection. Just, I'm just putting that out there. Whatever. I'm not here to judge. Do what you want to do. I have dealt with men that wanted me to put my finger in their butt. I have had, a man, that man sat on my face and rocked back and forth while I licked his butthole. I'm just saying, like, I feel like men have the right to explore just like women do. But if he know who he is and he just like, then you need to respect, your ass gonna get your jaw tore off. You gotta tell, child, you gotta tell me twice. I seen that shit. I was like, oh God. Okay, so confident pussy in reverse goes over here. Big pussy bedroom in reverse goes over here. That has a lot to do with that woman. Okay, so she's not confident in her abilities. Now, my thing is that as a woman, there are some women who don't secrete, which means that they don't get wet. So, and I'm not saying that this woman don't get wet. I don't know what her problem is, why she's not confident in her pussy. It's, you don't value it. You know what I'm saying? You may kind of like give it up. She may be very masculine minded. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like whatever she want to do, she want to do. Okay? We done already talked about me. This is the shit I be talking about. Because, men be out here doing what they want to do. But they're not going to get criticized like women are. But as a woman, if you really knew men, you would stop that shit. And if you knew what type of man you wanted, you would stop that shit. Okay? Because if you want a good man, a real good man, and then on top of that, if you want one that exceeds, the typical average man, you can't be like this. You can't be hoeing the fuck up. You got to be equally yoked. You can't, the royalty can't be fucking around with the peasants. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying. You may not be like confident in what you got going on. I don't know if it's something medical. If it's something medical, it should be easy for you to accept that. Like, that should tell you, that would tell you if a man really loves you. It's kind of like a woman who, her body is not very voluptuous. In society, it's kind of like the big booty, well, not even the big booty, but most men do like big booties. But the big booty, the titties, just the curves, it represents femininity. Okay, so when you're more of a smaller girl, you don't have all of those curves and all that type of stuff. You feel like, oh, I look like a boy, or oh, I'm not as sexy. My thing is that is actually a one-up for you to be able to tell if a man really loves you or not, because it shouldn't be about the body. Your body, anything can happen to you. You could lose a limb. You could get paralyzed. Are you going to be worried about keeping that body up? No. For that man, you're not going to be worried. The question is going to be, is that man going to be with you if something like that happens to you? You understand? As you get older, that body going to fade. Shit going to happen. You can do what you can to keep it up, as long as you can, but it's never going to be like how you were in your prime. That is okay. Let go of the body image. Let go of that. Let go of depending on your pussy to validate you, and then, because you can't get everything that you want out of a man after you fuck them, you feel like, it's like you feel entitled, when you give up the pussy. So make sure you have an understanding with that man first. Stop moving so fast. Stop moving so fast. All right. So it's just, I kind of feel like sometimes you be trying to do crazy shit in the bedroom. It's like you be trying to make yourself seem interesting. But to be quite honest, most men don't like that shit. If you're dealing with a man, like, a man has to have like some type of serious issue to be like into sadism. If a man is in high demand, he's always in control. He might like a dominatrix woman. He wants to be able to let go of control. He wants to be submissive. He's tired of being the one in control all the time. So, I mean, what's up? What do you need to feel free within you? Do you may be at a point in time within your life to where you want to experience the dark nature of sex. Be careful with going down that rabbit hole. Just be careful. I believe that everybody has the right to experience that, but be careful. Stay protected. Okay? I used to be a stripper. Okay? I used to be a sex worker. I used to be all of that shit. When I say sex worker, I'm not saying prostitute, but I was an escort. Those were the most funnest times of my life. But don't try to be big and bad if you ain't big and bad. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're going to get into some trouble. You know, I was out there in that danger, but I won't never fake it. I was just being my innocent, curious self. I didn't have no point to prove to nobody. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to make somebody see you. If that man don't see you, and he probably see you, but maybe you don't really see yourself. Stop trying to prove so much. Stop trying to do so much. Just relax. I feel like you're dealing with a different type of person. You may be dealing with a different type of man. You're not going to get that man just based off of your pussy. What else? I mean, what else is good with you? This person is represented by the lovers. They are very knowledgeable of a lot of things. You know, somebody, if somebody is eclectic within their studies, you know, they're more of an intellectual. So it's not, and then on top of that, you're going to ask that man, can you stick your finger in his butt? And you probably tried to make him feel bad about that. But you're always trying to somewhat demasculate him and dominate his mind. And it's like you be trying to think for him. You be trying to control how he think. You want to control how he feel. You want to control what y'all do in the bedroom. Everything that you're trying to do is based off of your own uncomfortable. You're not comfortable in your own skin. You're not comfortable within yourself. Stop taking it out on that person. And be careful. Because that man may see who you are. Like, insecure as hell, and he could be using the fuck out of you. It seems like you're desperate to win the approval of this man. He may see that. Don't do that. Don't put yourself in that position. Don't. I feel like he see a lot of your issues, but it's like he can't have a real relationship with you. He's starting to see he can't. That's because you sitting up there running your mouth. Don't ever attack another woman in front of a man. You understand what I'm saying? Just be honest. If you don't feel good about her, you don't feel good about her. You can say that. But when you sit up there and you're trying to do this and that, you're trying to put this together and that together, it's why are you doing all of that? Why are you so worried about another woman? Why are you so worried about her? Why are you so worried about proving something to him? He got a mind of his own. The more you try to convince him, the more he's going to question, like, what's up with her? What's wrong with her? You just stop being so desperate and thirsty. That's not attractive. And like I said, the thing that I'm worried about is you giving all of that power away to a man to where he can use you as a weapon against other people, and especially women. But you're that black widow. You don't care about that anyway. All you care about is getting that man. All you care about is a man. So, okay. Okay, so anyway, for who this reading is for, you have topless hike with a pussy pal. So this is being in nature and taking your shirt off. Okay, taking your shirt off, embracing the outdoors. It's really talking about nature. Okay, I got these cards. They have like all these words on them and shit, but I don't be reading them. I just, you know, pick up the energy. Okay, but this is kind of like you and your girlfriends going out and just having a different type of adventure. Okay, so if you're the type of woman to where, you know, deep down inside, you're tired of doing the same mundane shit. You're tired of going to the club. You're tired of going to the bar. Tired of going to some of these arcades, the movies. What else is there to do? What else can I do? So it's advising you to pretty much just have a different type of adventure. Okay, and connect to nature. Mother Nature. Connect to the inner Mother Nature within self. Do some grounding. You know, I remember well, whatever. I love, because I ain't gonna get too much into that shit. I love being outside somewhere to where I can take off all my clothes, ain't gotta worry about nobody seeing me, nobody, you know, got shit to say. There used to be times during the summer to where I would go to the beach real early. I would take off my clothes. Well, I would have my bathing suit on, but I would take my bathing suit off in the water. And I would keep my head above the water, but the rest of my body be submerged. Because the beach, it's not clear water. Okay, so when you go out a certain distance, nobody could see you. So I used to just be sitting there. Sometimes I would just lay on the beach and I would just open my legs and just let the sun just hit my vagina, or just let the air hit my vagina. Like, I feel like establishing these types of things with ourselves behind the scenes, behind closed doors, it's like a personal satisfaction for us, for self. You know what I'm saying? Creating more of that sacred sexual bond with yourself, but also healing yourself within the process too. Okay. So, you may want to go on a hike. Okay. And when you and your girls go on a hike, or you and your friend, whoever, it could be a man, just allow, if this lover's here, if this man is a good friend of yours, this person, it's like you can be around them naked and they're not going to be like, well, I can't say that. What I pick up is that once he has had you, it's like he can calm down. But if he hasn't had you, then he can't be calm. So if this is somebody, well, we're not going to talk about this person, but let's say if it's somebody has the personality type to where they're very open-minded. So it's not like if you go on a hike, if y'all go on this hike and you want to embrace yourself, you want to embrace the moment with maybe stripping down, getting naked, or taking your shirt off, like shaking your titties in the wind. This person is not going to be like, oh, gotta have you now. I think that this person embraces sexuality differently. I do feel something very open and open-minded. So this man is not easy. Okay, he probably done seen plenty of pussies in his life. He probably done seen plenty of titties in his life. So okay, so I feel like that is going to conclude the reading. Okay, so it looks like you're not worried about anybody here. You're not worried about the hate that somebody has for you. I don't even think that you are aware of this lover's person, but the two of you have a lot in common. Okay. All right, so we're going to end it there. So until next time, we'll talk again. Thank you.